Welcome back to the channel. It is Sunday the 29th of June and this is my weekly channel update where I have an opportunity to have a discussion point but also talk about the games that I've played over this week, which sadly was only two, and the books that I've had come into my collection, which has again been many. And taking a look at the books now, I'm kind of calling it my review preview because these are, as general rule, they are going to be books that will be reviewed at some stage. Actually, I think one's already been reviewed and another one has been recorded, and you should be able to see that very soon. Before I get into that, let's just do a little bit of sort of housekeeping and things that are going on the channel. So I'm going to be doing a monthly, so I've got a YouTube membership program, whatever it's called. And each month I'm going to do a monthly question and Q&A sort of session. So it gives the opportunity for the members to come onto the channel, ask questions live. I'm going to set something up in my Discord as well, so for pre-written questions, if you can't attend that, so it will be for members only. I will make it available afterwards. I think I can just change it. I'm not sure. It's the first one I've done. I'm aiming for Thursday the 10th of June for that. During that live stream as well, I will be giving away a copy of Horde for Old School Essentials. This will be for only people that do attend the live, so obviously you do have to be a member and you do have to be online for this, and I hopefully, well, depending on where you live, will be able to post it to you. That's my idea anyway. I might end up having to do a print on demand one from Drive-Thru RPG, but yeah, I have done a review of this. It's a fantastic book where you get to play orcs and goblins. In Old School Essentials, there's a version for Shadow Dark and there is a version for 5th edition as well. So yeah, this is my copy that I intend to give away. This was sent to me for free, hence the reason why I'm not selling it. I think it's a bit weird for someone to send me a copy of a book, and then obviously what I want to do is just hand this on to someone else. But I think it's just a sort of thank you to members as well for sort of contributing and supporting the channel. So let's just do the games that I've played. Only two this week, and Sunday night was Soulbound, and I'm going to say this again. Age of Sigmar confuses the hell out of me. I don't really know what's going on. I know it's a different world to the old world, the Warhammer old world. We're in the middle of a campaign right at the start of the campaign, and we've just been, I can't really say because if people have bought, it's a pre-bought adventure, so I'm not really going to say what's going on. But like I really love the mechanics of Soulbound, but I don't really get the world. I generally don't understand what is going on. But yeah, playing through that. Monday night didn't happen. Meant to be carrying on my Shadow Dark campaign, and unfortunately a lot of people called in sick, so we say, on the day, or just couldn't attend earlier on in the day. So we were left with just one other person initially. So you can't really run a session with one person. So that's going to just kill that for the day. It's not going to happen this coming week either, because annoyingly my daughter has a party that I need to go and pick her up from. So we're going to have a sort of 2-week gap from Shadow Dark. But Tuesdays was good. I actually got to finally start Horde War Advanced, the campaign. I say campaign, we're going to kind of winging it as I go, really. There's a couple of adventure hooks and ideas and stuff in the back of the book, but if you've not played Horde Wars, it's a D12 and you crit on a 12, so you're going to crit a damn sight more often, and a D12 is you know, bit more interesting. I think it's a better die than a D20, but I have done a full review of Horde Wars Advanced. I really like the game and I'm looking forward to getting into this campaign. The play was interesting actually, because the players, the very first encounter they had was with a troll, and it's a fantasy sort of setting where you can play like lots of different classes. Go and check out the review, it's brilliant. But the players stumbled across a troll, and they're quite I tend to use blooded or staggered because I think it's quite important that players know, especially with a hit point creature, when they're around about halfway down to the hit points. It stems from 4th edition. It just gives the players a gauge of how well they're doing. So they were attacking this troll, and it kind of dawned on them a couple of rounds, and they were like, Aid hasn't said this thing's blooded yet, have they? And I was like, it's because it's not. And they suddenly got to that stage and they were like, okay. And then another, I set a die out to something's going to happen as the die rolls down. And as the die rolled down to 0, another troll came, and they suddenly realised they might get outnumbered. And they finally actually dropped the first one, and the second one failed its morale and ran away. So they basically, hoping they've sort of finished the adventure, they haven't. What they need to find has clearly been dragged off through the tracks to a cave in the direction the troll was going on. And now the tracks, there were 3 lots of tracks for trolls. So it suddenly dawned on them, not only they got to get through this, I think it's 120 hit point creature, bear in mind their first level. And they did do. It's designed to allow them, if they play well, a new strategy. Now they've got to fight 2 of them in their home advantage within a cave. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Looking forward to that. Sadly, that's not happening this week because someone's away. But what I'm going to do is I'm doing a one-shot with them on Tuesday. So we're just going to I'm going to throw a sort of bit of a random encounter in. Okay, so let's just jump over and have a look at what has come in. Now, I'm going to have real bad apologies because some of these things in here, it's going to be the first time I've looked at them. I always say, never say no to anyone sending me anything, but I'm now starting to get very, very much behind on even having a quick look at books because I think last week I had 15 come in. This week, there's probably, again, another 11 or 12. The week before, I think it was 14 or 15. And I'm not saying don't send stuff to me. You know, I deeply appreciate anything that's sent. But it's going to be quite a lot slower of me actually getting to books because it's just me. And, you know, having time to sort of fully read a book and review it, to get it on camera, if you know, it is something I like, it's a little bit longer. Hence the reason I'm going to start this, Across the Thousand Dead Worlds. And I've just had a look now, and I haven't even opened this yet. And this is a 446-page book game. And this is going to take me a while. This is written and designed by Alex T, the incredibly talented writer of The Machine Gods of the Noxian Expanse. And also got this to do as well. I've been starting messing with this. So I did a review of the Machine Gods, and that was really good. So Alex kindly sent me this and another book that we're going to look at today. I haven't even had a chance to look at it as yet, so I don't know what's in here. It's a space game. I can tell that. 440 pages, hyperlinked. So we've got some rules, scheduling missions, how to run the game, antagonists and creatures and monsters. Just going to have a look at a monster, actually. Can we get character creation? Here we go. Let's have a look at. So it's a futuristic space station. Familiar stats. Okay, strength, dex, con, will, intelligence, and charisma. Got a few skills here. So this is probably a D20 base system. Here we go. Yeah, D20 attribute. A lot of it is a D20. Well, I say a lot of them. The ones that I've read so far have been a D. First, you create a deep dive character with 8 and then 12 attribute points. So you all start at 8 and you distribute amongst them. I want to roll. I like rolling for stats. Not all players do. We've got a certain amount of skill points in here. Talents like that and backgrounds. It's huge. Oh, you're going to get a nervous tick and mannerisms. I like space games. One of my players is already going, no, I don't want to play this. Because he doesn't like sci-fi. Looking at you, Rob. I know you're watching. Because you watch just to see if I mention you. And you're going to get mentioned when sci-fi games come out. Actually, it's going to just find that bit with a monster. Because a monster stat should give us an idea. Good idea of... Here we go. Antagonist Guardians here. Okie dokie. That is really sci-fi looking for the stats. That's pretty cool. I like the fact it's got descriptions and creatures. And then, was that 4 different levels of each creature depending? Oh, that's gross, but cool. combat behaviors. Oh, so many games are starting to do this now. This is good. Roll a d10. You don't have to worry about it as a games master. It sort of lets you know what sort of attacks are going to do. Like that. Dragonbane does it, doesn't it? This is something I actually bought, which is Ave Nox, which is a huge mega dungeon. Can you say huge mega dungeon? Doesn't it imply it's already huge? But it's written by Charles Ferguson, who wrote, was it Into the Weird and Wild, which is a fantastic book. And then I bought up the other one, the city one. I've got that as well to come, but I'm waiting for it to. Oh no, I haven't bought it yet. That's still in my wish list, isn't it? That because if I'd bought it, it'd be in here. So that is coming. But I've bought a physical copy of this as well from Dungeon Land, I think it was, and they actually kindly sent me the PDF at the same time, which was cool. But this is a rules agnostic mega dungeon with a history and background and some local people. Again, that's all I know. I haven't read this. I just went, oh, Charles Avery, the other bit of his name, terribly unprofessional today, and I was just like, this looks cool. It's 208 pages mega dungeon, and the artwork for the maps is absolutely brilliant with all this sort of the background stuff. I was like, okay, I'm in. Whether I can run this, I don't know. I don't know how many hours it's going to take to play, but I want to get it read, get it reviewed. Excited for this one. I have done a review for this. This went out a couple of days ago. This is Deadlands, the regional setting guide for Shadows of Empire. Warhammer for Shadow Dark. It's the follow-up to Shadows of Empire by Fenris77, who has worked his little balls off. I don't know why I've said little balls. I don't know. Sorry, mate. I'm leaving it in. You know I'm not going to take it out. And this is another one of those. He did the original sort of zine, which was, I think it's about 40 pages, which was the Empire's Shadows of Empire, which was his setting. And he had a few things that we're going to need in that book in here, and this just fleshes it out. We've got an area in here. Well, I've got the full review, so I'm not going to dwell on this too long, but it's got hex crawlers in there. It's got a dungeon crawl as well for levels 4 to 6, as well as, I'm just going to show you this bit. He's redoing the map because I had a bit of a moan about the thing, but if you want to play Skaven, Gutterkin as he calls them in here, you've got the rules to play Skaven in that world, so that's cool. Then got Fallen Star, which is an expansion. Well, it's an adventure setting for Low Life 2090. And if you haven't watched my review of Low Life 2090, go and watch it. It's actually Shadowrun, but done really well. It uses predominantly, well, Tales of a Ghost Set uses the rules for this, because this was written first. So if you want to play a sort of a solo fixer, edge runner, those sort of characters, you know, if you've watched the film Bright with Will Smith, it's that sort of world. Absolutely fantastic game written by Steve Grozicki. And this is just an adventure that I picked up. Haven't read it yet, so I'm not going to go much further in, but it's got maps in here, all the numbers in here. The artwork's absolutely amazing. Everything Steve does, I'm a massive fan of. Try and get it. Ironbound, this has been sent to me, and I haven't looked at it yet, but I flicked through 2 or 3 pages because I was like, who sent me this? When did I get this? And this is written by David Ward here, okay, and it is essentially, so you can see it's a futuristic sort of game. So I think again it's going to be like your sort of Shadowrun, that sort of thing, and it's set in Grimwood City over here. That's all I've got for now, but I'm going to just have a little bit more of a look. Actually, if we go back to the contents and so we're going to go into, do you know what, I do like it when books give you a little bit more up front before you then get into character creation. Sometimes, you know, you never really know which way to go. So we've got biotechnology corporations and stuff. Aurora Energy. Aurora did the spikes, I think, in, I want to say, Shadowrun. But here we go. Let's have a look at the species that we can play for character creation. That's very angelic. I don't know if that's meant to be. Oh yes, it is a celestial being you can play. Oh, vampires. Vampires come in 3 forms. So is that 3 different? Okay. this is cool. I haven't even read too much yet. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to play a vampire. But Ironbound are just humans grew outside the world of magic. Okay, so we've got magic. Okay, this is full on Shadowrun, then, isn't it? And we're creatures. You play vampires and Werewolf the Apocalypse, Vampire the Masquerade type stuff. That's cool. We've got some classes here: assassin, hacker. No one wants to be a hacker. Paul always wants to be a bloody hacker. Holy warriors, medium, monster hunter. The artwork is do you know what? I'm always more drawn to priests as I've got older. I don't know why. Maybe I'm looking at my own personal demise, but I quite like the thought of, you know, it's that sort of backup helping people class that comes in here. Variety of different feats. Right, what I want to do is I want to look at the character sheet. Just have a quick look. Here's the character sheet at the back. Yes. So what have we got? Where's the stats? Oh, I don't know. This is... It's not scrolling. There we go. Vehicles in here. Okay. So Boon of Banes. I don't know how it plays. We've got arcane, physical, and mental stats. So 3 stats. Could be. No skills. Maybe it's all linked to everything. But yeah, cool. World looks good. Art looks amazing. Play vampires or weird creatures and priest. A werewolf priest. Cool. We've then got Lost Roads of Dol-Karok or Mines of Moria. Well, it's actually written for Tales of Gosa. But again, Steve Grzycki book. I knew this was coming after the interview that I did with him. It popped up. I bought this as well as the 2 other books. Spoilers, there's another one for Steve's coming up right at the end. And this is exactly how it looks. This is a mine building. So the first top of the mine is set out so you can move around it, and then you can go further in, and then you've got rules for randomly generating maps and movements around. So I have done a review for this. The video is up. Oh, told a lie. There's 3 that I've done reviews for that came over in the last week, but this is really, really good. So here's the actual map set out itself. It's 50 miles across over 14 different sort of levels, if that makes sense. Steve on his channel as well has got a playthrough. Well, there's 2 video playthrough on here which sort of teaches you how to use it. Then got Ruthless, Heavans, Boundless, Fate, which again is by Alex T, which Alex, 332 pages, 323 pages, which is huge again. He just he gets some word count in. So what have we got? Tributes here. Strength, Dex, Spirit, Presence, similar-ish. So it's going to be another D20 system. We've got Fortitude saving throws, willpower. What's the world doing then? So we've got different domains here. Don't know why there's the slight delay. New races. Hiveborn. What's that? It's a 4-armed creature. Or 3. Can't see another arm on the other side. Leary, which is sort of like cat type creature here. Bird creature. And then some lineages. Okay, so it's his own unique fantasy setting then, looking at it. With some really cool and unique creatures. That's cool. Take me a while to get through. Not as like across 1,000 skies. Because that's, you know, this is 400 less pages. But okay, so we've got race. Well, these are classes looking at it here. That's a little bit like, what was it in Talislanta? The Thrall. That's only because you've got bald head and tattoos. Zenith Guard, so a monk character. Okay, cool. And then we've got Sinless, which is, there's a theme going on. This is Shadowrun. This was donated to me on the channel by Rich H 1972. On one of my videos, we was just talking, he recommended Sinless. So I went to have a look at it thinking it might be sort of £10-15, something like that on TTRPG, and it was $50. So I was just doing a bit of investigation, got up the next day, and he incredibly generously gifted me as a super on it. So instantly bought it. I've had a flick through. Even the artwork reminds me of early editions of Shadowrun here. but it is, in all intents and purposes, I think it's going to be Shadowrun, and it uses pools of D6. I think when I was just having a bit of a look through on, on quickly how it works. So so it's D6s, and you're looking for a 4+. There may be times where you might be looking at a 5 or 6+. Which actually reminds me, what was the old system? Earth Dawn. Was it Earth Dawn that had the big pools that was made by, was it FASA, I think? Which I think the very first edition of Shadowrun was made by the same people that made Earth Dawn. I've got that in my head somewhere, not totally sure. So we've got a whole plethora of Shadowrun-esque type games coming at some stage. And boobs. I didn't know there was boobs in this book. Always a plus. Okay, so that is a cute looking cool pug dog. We've got a thief hacker. Okay, yeah. This actually I did notice the original or Shadowrun did. You had the different section. Where is it? I'm just gonna go back. There was like a banding of what you had to pick. I'll do it when I come around to my full review, so it'd be rude not to review this and actually get it read. I then was sent the Beyond. I actually was sent this a few weeks ago, and somehow this got actually missed in it. And this is 124 pages. It is written by... your name's not in here. Where's your name? Why isn't your name on the inside cover? This is the problem. So I am sent quite a lot. So if it's not in here, I can't find it to mention it. And this looks like a very mysterious, dangerous, Cthulhu-esque type modern day setting with creatures and monsters, a cult, things like that in the background. So this is always a winner with me. It's a theme I really enjoy playing in. The artwork is absolutely amazing in here. I've got a lot of stats actually. So we've got strength, agility, speed, durability, humours, mind, charisma, IQ, awareness, willpower, mindful spirit, occult, faith, ancient, potency, morality, word pool. I hope there's no skills in here. Doesn't seem okay. We're straight then into magic. Okay, magic weapons, artwork. That's ace. Wouldn't want that to come on board, would you? Don't fall, weird hand man. That's quite terrifying. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at this a little bit more. I've got to just finding time. It just for me is time in around everything else. These next four books were sent to me by Cubicle 7, and this is the Laundry, and we've got the Laundry. Player's Guide, effectively Operative's Handbook here. We've then got Supervisor's Guide, Dungeon Master's Handbook. We've then got Black Bad Jobs, which is a load of missions. And then we've got a sort of starting mission and sort of more information about it as well. And they're all based on these books here, the Laundry Files by Charles Stross. I didn't know what to expect from this because the artwork I was initially like, that's a bit meh. However, it's a D6 pool system. I've done a review of this. This will be out very, very shortly. And guess what? You're not going to be able to guess. Well, you can guess, but you're not going to be able to tell me. This uses the Soulbound, amazing D6 system. I'm in. It's effectively Delta Green, X-Files, work for a secret government agent here in London, fighting off Cthulhu, supernatural, werewolves, all that load of stuff going on using the utterly amazing D6 pool system that comes with Soulbound. Take your attribute, take your skill, add that number of dice together, roll them, trying to get over a certain amount of numbers, and you might need more than one success. And you've got the wonderful focus ability, which means you can manipulate up to 3 additional die and add +1 to them, or 3 to 1 die. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Needless to say, I did a review quite quickly of this because it's good fun and it's all out. It's available for pre-order now. If you pre-order it on the Cubicle 7's website, you can... I don't think it's due till Q5 this year, but obviously they will send you the PDF straight away. And then finally, last but not least, we've got Unnatural Selection here, which is just it's another sort of campaign one-shot adventure for Low Life 2090, which I'm sure is going to be equally compatible with things like Sinless and stuff like that. And we've got this little dwarf-looking man who looks a little bit smug. But again, not going to go into too much detail on it because it's actually an adventure for players to play. Okay, that's it. So, conversation point for the week is really around this. And I was surprised. One thing I regularly talk about, let's just come back to me at the moment. One thing I regularly talk about is, Shadow Dark, Kelsey, how you can get the player's guide. It's a loose one, Games Master's Guide, and an adventure for free. So when people say, what's probably the most accessible game out there, Shadow Dark. You can try it for free. Yes, you can do 5th edition for free, and I think Morkborg you can do for free, because both of which you can sort of download pages of text. At least Kelsey does it in a way that's, it's got some images and it still looks nice on there. But I do get asked quite a lot, if you're going to get into a new game, what is the best, what book should you buy, etc. And really, realistically now, my first point of call is, go and get one of these. Go and get a starter set, for your favourite game. Most games do them. And Cubicle 7 have been knocking it out the park. I've also got the Warhammer one that I've lent to my brother-in-law, so I've got to go and get that back, because I'm going to start a new series on these. Okay. But what made me think of this was this. And Cubicle 7 have been absolutely knocking it out the park with starter sets for a very long time. And then they go and do this, which kind of surprised me. So Warhammer the Old World is a game I'm very much looking forward to, assuming the Dungeon Master's Guide is equally as good as the Games Master's Guide. So it comes out and it just fleshes the world out. But there is no starter set here. And I think they've really dropped the ball with this, because yes, it's not out yet, and yes, if you pre-order it, you can give the PDF, and the PDF is riddled with holes and bugs, and it kind of feel a little bit like a beta tester at this stage, because they don't want to proofread a book. They're just going to give it to us, download the PDF, and then you can tell them where the problems is, which I don't have a problem with as such, because I think it's nice that instead of waiting till November, December, whenever it's actually due, we're getting it now so we can play it. But we're not, because you can't play it, because we don't have the Games Master's Guide, so we don't have any statistics for any of the creatures that you're going to fight. All you can do is PvP, which is what I've been doing, and it's quite fun. It is fun. It's it's a D10 chuck them around dice pool system, and I do like it. I like the Old World. I think. Not that I really know what's going on in the Old World, because I haven't seen it. But what's really surprised me with this is Cubicle 7 have been doing this. Here you go. It's, Wrath and Glory. Do you want to go and buy the core rule book? Or would you buy this? You're going to buy this. Buy this first. Play it and decide whether you like it. Yeah? So I'm going to have a little... And what they've done with the Old World is they've gone, no, what we need to do is we'll have separate books and a bundle and cards and everything else. I think they've missed a trick. I think, and Pendragon did it really well with their 6th edition, so Chaosium. And I'm going to go and re-grab it. I actually had the box set, the starter set for Pendragon 6th edition, but I couldn't get any of my friends interested in playing it, even though we played 2nd and 3rd edition, and we never played 4th, even though 4th is my favourite edition because it includes the Celtic rules, which Greg Stafford, the guy that wrote the book, didn't like because he thought he'd gone too fantasy, but I like the option. And so I'm going to get that back, because I reckon I should be able to get that played, and if not, I can't get it played with my players. I'll get it played on my Discord. But what really surprised me is over the years, the Cubicle 7 have been out, and other games, they do stuff like this. So here we've got the starter set. So my plan is over the next few weeks, I'm going to try and record and show a starter set a week, because in like a sort of beginner's guide to if you were going to get into a game, this really is the best place to go, because you can buy the core rulebook, and then I think for, you know, well, actually, the starter sets actually are about £10-15 cheaper. But more importantly, what do you get? Normally, the only things you're missing, and this is going to I'm not going to go into too much detail what's in here, but in nearly all starter sets, you're going to get your dice. So this is a nice D6 system with exploding dice, which is nice. But you're going to get backgrounds, rule books, character sheets, like gatefold character sheets here. These are as well, and that's more of an adventure setting bit. But what I want to do is just go through starter sets and just do a beginner's guide, really, to what's included in starter sets and boxes. Say I've got 2 more. Well, I've got another one that I've ordered. Well, I've ordered 2 more to come through, because this is my next series. I've got my top-down camera here, which hopefully will work. You can still see my beautiful face as I'm doing it, which obviously makes everyone happy, because then it's not just down from the camera. I could probably do it without my face, but I don't know. Maybe it makes it more human having, you know, you can see my reaction to things and see that it's live as well. But yeah, this is basically what I want to do now. Is I'm still going to carry on with the reviews, but I'm kind of thinking starter sets, because they're really good. Free League do some incredibly good starter sets as well. You know, the One Ring one. I'm in the mirror now, aren't I? So that's an incredibly good starter set. And in general, you get most of the rules for the game, if not all the rules for the game. But you miss out character creation. But you get dice, you get other stuff. So yeah, that is. If you can think of another game, let me know down in the comments below of good starter sets, or even games that do introduction really well, that gets you in cheaply, because this hobby is quite expensive. You know, yes, we can buy PDFs, and a lot of people like using PDFs. I used to. I'm moving away, because I now have the weird paranoia that Adobe might close tomorrow and all my PDFs are gone. So I'm now heading back towards having physical media, which is obviously a space issue in itself. So I'm sort of trying to juggle stuff more around. Do I go and buy a whole new shelf and sort of extend back out, keep going that way? To my right there, that all my friends that have been around my house, I've got a big booze cabinet of like whiskies and stuff. So that needs to sort of shift around if I get more shelving. Yeah. But yeah, let me know in the comments below the starter sets that you want to see, if you can make any recommendations for a good starter set, or even books that, you know, are nice and cheap and just tease people in. Because I want to do a whole, I'm going to start a folder or something on YouTube, which is like a beginner's guide to, and that hopefully we can bring more people in. But yeah, that's it. That's my plan for going forward. If you've enjoyed these videos, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.